Welcome to Finlayson Family Chiropractic. My name is Dr. Chris. This is Aneta. Today we're going to be showing you the wobble cushion. So the reason why we do this is, well, there's multiple reasons. We want to bring function back into the low back, so we're actually strengthening the muscles. We're pumping cerebral spinal fluid through the body, bringing fluid and hydration back to the disc space. So it's really important whether you have pain, dysfunction, disc problems, or even a low or a high hip, to properly exercise and get motion back into that spine, especially when we're eventually going to be laying on rolls. We want to mold, we want to make sure we're taking that spine through all of its range of motion. So Aneta here, she's sitting on a wobble cushion, which is one of these that's just not inflated yet. So this wobble cushion, when she's sitting on it, imagine this being like a disc space, right? So you have the front, back, side, and then you have the front left corner, front right, back left, back right. So we want to make sure we're hitting all of these different components of the disc to bring health, fluid, nutrients back to that spine. Now, whether you're somebody who sits all day at an office, this is super important to do in the morning, or if you're someone who works hard, if you work construction, you're bent over, you're shoveling, you're digging, you want your spine to be in shape and you want it to be prepared for the day. So she's going to take us through a couple different ranges of motion. It might be important to watch this video a few times because it can be, as we were learning in the beginning, it can be a little bit complicated and difficult to get down if you're just not used to the motion. So I'll try and walk you through that so that I can make it as simple as possible. But what we're going to start with is just the warm-up. So the warm-up is just going to be front to back, and then we're going to go side to side, which she'll show you, and then it's just rotations. And it's 15 each side, so 30 total. So I'm going to have her show just the front to back. So when she comes forward, her hips drop forward on that disc, and she leans back and brings that head back a little bit. And then as she leans back, so go ahead and lean back, that curls, the head comes back down. So keep going back and forth a little bit faster on that. So she's going to go forward and back. It's 15 front, 15 back for a total of 30. And this one's whole spine. So I want the neck to go back, the head to come down, so it's the full spine, bending and extending, pumping fluid into that spine, moving the cerebral spinal fluid, bringing nutrients back into that disc. That's good there. So that's the first one, over 15 front, 15 back. The next one here we call weed pickers. So she's going to lean her hip to the right side and lean with that neck as well and reach down towards the ground, coming both sides, side to side. So now we've got the front of the disc, and now we're working the lateral, the sides of the disc. Once you've done 15 both sides, we're done there. And then for the next one, I like to bring my thumbs right to the center of my sternum, my chest, and then it's just a rotation. You don't rotate the chair. All you do is rotate your whole body, your whole spine, and your neck, and you rotate side to side. So now we're working the disc in a rotational axis. Once we've done that 15 times both sides, the warm-up is done. And some people will even come in the office, use these cushions. We'll have them on the chairs sometimes. You can even do that warm-up before you go get adjusted. That's totally fine. Once the warm-up is done, what I prefer is people set a timer between 5 and 10 minutes. I would try and shoot a little bit higher, more 7, 8, 9 minutes at least. Set the timer down so you don't have to pay attention to it. It'll go off when it's ready. And during that process, we're going to work basically the crosshatch. So imagine with her, if I look down the center of her head, imagine having an X. So there's the front left corner, there's the front right, there's the back left, and there's the back right. So she's going to move through these quadrants, making like a figure 8. So she's going to start in a second. She's going to go front left, and you'll notice when she leans towards that cushion, she's going to lean away, and then she's going to go back left, and as she drops her hips in that cushion down, she's going to lean away, and then she's going to cross to the front right, lean in, and then she leans back away, and then back right and lean away. So go ahead and show us that. So she leans to the front there, leans away, drops back towards this back left quadrant, leans towards the front, there, and then back right. And then she crosses back over to the front. Yep, always leaning away. Back, there we go. Cross that way, and then back the other way. So perfect, just like that. I notice whenever I'm doing it, it really helps me to focus more on the cushion itself. So if you're sitting this way, facing this way, pay attention to the cushion and just let your body follow. If you try and pay attention to your body, you get all confused. Just realize if you're leaning to the front left, you're trying to smush the front left part of that cushion, leaning in. So go ahead and show us that, right? Lean front, and then the body just leans the opposite way. So wherever your cushion's being crunched, all you do is lean away. So once you get that concept down, you just have to pay attention to what part of the cushion you're trying to smash down, right? So go ahead and give us one more time through. Front left, lean away. Back left, lean away. Front right, and then lean back towards me. Back right, leans away. Just like that, perfect. And again, you want to lean and hold for about 1 to 2 seconds. So just how she was doing, 1 to 2 seconds. And you should feel that stretch in your spine. I mean, really what we're doing here is you're taking these disc spaces and you're bringing fluid, nutrients, and you're strengthening the muscles in that area. Again, people who have disc issues, disc herniations, disc protrusions, we're trying to pump some of those discs back up, take the pressure off those nerves. And so what she's doing is, as she drops the hips forward, she's leaning away. And she drops them backwards and she leans away. Then she comes back to that front right and leans away. So the whole point is we're trying to bring motion back into that spine. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna teach you guys the pro-lordotic band. This is done at home twice a day with the wobble cushion for the low back. So these are done together before you do the head hang in the morning, and these are also done at night before you do the neck and the low back roll. So just remember, these always come first, and then you do the neck and low back roll or head hang. So we're gonna show you the pro-lordotic band. This is also done in the office after you get adjusted. And again, this is done before you use the traction chair, which we'll show you here in a bit. And this is something that you'll use only if you're prescribed. Everybody will do it slightly differently based on where your reverse curve is, how your forward head posture is, based on how your spine is set up. I might change or manipulate the way that this is done, but this video is going to give you a very general understanding of kind of what it should look like and what exercises to do. So basically there's 4 different exercises that she's going to show you right now, and ultimately I want those done twice in the office, then twice at home. So there's going to be a wall fly. So the first one is she's going to be up against the wall and she's going to be doing flies. The second one is extensions. So she's going to step forward and extend, and then she's going to do rotations side to side, and then extensions again. So we're going to start with the wall flies. So always make sure that this band here is not on one side or the other. Make sure it's right in the middle, right? So that's kind of the first step, to make sure it's set up right. And then she's going to throw it back over her neck. Now, it's super important that one of the biggest mistakes is people let the bands pull their head forward. So with this exercise, I want to make sure that you put your head nice and tight against that wall. Keep the chin level, the eyes looking straight. I shouldn't be able to pull her head off the wall. She's giving enough pressure where the tip of my finger is not enough. She's pushing back, resisting. So in this position, she's going to do the wall fly exercise. So go ahead and bring the bands out. Now draw them forward, and she pauses forward here, and then flies and comes forward. Yep. So she only pauses when the bands are forward, because that's actually when you're going to get the pulling on the neck. So what I want is a set of 10. So once she's done her set of 10, let's say you're done, relax, take a step forward. After every set set that you do, kind of shake it out, make sure you're keeping yourself nice and loose, nice and warm. The next set she'll do, so the first set is 10 flies like she just did. The next set is going to be extensions. Remember, it goes fly, extend, rotate, extend. So now we're going to do extensions. So she's going to kick her arms out. Go ahead and kick them out. And in fact, if you don't mind turning that way so you can watch turn your body and face down the hall, all the way, that way. Yep, just like this. And so go ahead and relax. So a big problem that I tend to see when people come off the wall is the wall keeps you honest. The wall, you know, if your head's against the wall, it's not pulling you forward. Well, when you step off the wall to do these extensions, you don't have the wall there to guide you. So a big mistake I see is go ahead and step this way for me. Kick your arms out. And when people pull the bands forward like this, see how her head goes forward? I don't want that at all. I want you to keep the chin nice and tall. So the chin should stay this direction. You want to tuck it, right? And so from this position, I want you to extend all the way over. So we're fulcruming that neck. So give me 10 real quick. All the way back. And there's a pause only at the end. And then come back and back again. Perfect. Notice when her head comes back, she's still not letting her chin come this way. She's going back and then coming in and keeping her chin nice and tight. If there's ever any pain, tenderness, if it kind of makes you dizzy or gives you a headache, just stop, come and let me know, and I'll alter it. I'll make sure there's different ways to go about these things. Probably shouldn't cause you problems, especially if you're doing your neck roll and stuff at home. So those are the first two. The first two were, you can go back up here on the wall again here. The first two were the wall fly, with the wall fly and the extension. Now we want rotation. So take a small step forward again, kick the arms straight out, and then bring them straight forward. Notice she kept her chin back. Perfect, that's what we want. Now, about 45-degree rotation. There's no reason to crank your neck all the way to your shoulder. Just to this band. She's not going to stop in the middle. She's just going to swing. It's a pendulum all the way through. And I want 10 on each side. Just like that. What we're doing is we're working the disc and the spine in a rotational axis. Okay? So go ahead and relax there. So let's say she's done 10 on each side. And then again, we're gonna end it with an extension. So just like before, go ahead and take a step forward, kick the arms out, right? Bring it forward, keeping the chin back, right? And then show me a few extensions, head back, perfect, right? And in fact, if you don't mind, can you turn and face this direction for me? So you can see she's doing it right here, just her neck is extending. Sometimes I see people do it wrong and they'll actually bend their lower back, they'll use their whole body. So kind of show me what that looks like. See where you're arching your thoracic and even bending at the low back. I don't want any of that. I want this to stay sturdy and just the neck to come back. Just the cervical spine is all we want to have moving in this part. We don't want the whole body swaying. And so you can go and relax. So just to reiterate, it is 10 flies on the wall with the head pinned, right? And then step forward, it's 10 extensions, not letting it pull you forward. This is not what I want. I want here and then extend, 10 extensions. Then I want 10 rotations both sides, so you're rotating 45 degrees both sides. And then again, the extension. So fly, extend, rotate, extend.